Okay, welcome back. So, in the last few videos, you've been figuring out what elements actually go into your story, what you do put in, what you don't put in. So, you've got pages and pages of notes of that, and hopefully, you've got more clarity on what should go into a founding story, what should go into a purpose story, and what is relevant in your sticky story. So, in this video, I'm going to show you a storytelling template which you can use to structure those stories. Now, the good news is that storytelling is very formulaic, and if you are worrying that you don't know how to tell a good story, well, actually, you do. It is something that we all naturally kind of know how to do. It's just that when we think about it, we can't necessarily break it down. And anyone can learn how to tell a good story, or at least to structure a good story. And there are many amazing storytelling templates around. If you know, the reason that Disney Pixar have rarely made a movie that hasn't been a blockbuster is because they use the same storytelling formula over and over and over again. It's exactly the same with any blockbusting, best-selling novels or high-rated Netflix shows. They will be using a powerful storytelling formula, and the same goes with those strong brands. And going back to what we were talking about in the very first video about Russell Brunson, talking about the thing that actually makes or breaks a funnel was their ability to communicate their story effectively. That will all come down to the kind of the storytelling formula that they use. Now, if you've checked out the Messaging Masterclass, you will be familiar with the hero's journey storytelling formula, which is a really common one, which Donald Miller uses to apply to brands in his book, The Story Brand. So that is one storytelling formula example. But I'm actually going to share with you today a really simple one, which you can apply to all the three stories that we have talked about over the last few videos. And it's just so simple. And you'll probably be very familiar with it whenever I break it down. So it always goes like this. The elements of very basic elements of a good story is that there is always an old world. So this is what life was like before you had a business, before you found your purpose. And this is the section where you kind of paint a little picture, you set the scene, you paint a little picture of what happened before. The next stage of the story is always a pivotal moment, or the inciting moment, or the call to action. So this is the moment that changes everything. In your founding story, it's the moment you realize that you have a business idea. In your purpose story, it's the specific moment you suddenly get clarity on why you're doing what you're doing. In your sticky story, it might be where you kind of lose everything, you go through some kind of personal crisis or whatever it might be. So that is the next stage. So that is the pivotal moment. This is the moment after which nothing is the same again. It kind of sets you on a whole new path. That's the pivotal moment. And then the next stage is the new world. So this is the world after. So this is how things are now. So this is probably going to be a direct contrast to the old world. It's going to probably include some kind of moral or some kind of lesson learned. It could be the discovery of your purpose, and this is probably where some kind of call to action is going to sit. Like if you need help with this problem, I can help you, or whatever it might be. So here we go. So step one, the old world. This is what your life looked like before. And step two, the pivotal moment. This is the moment where everything changes, the inciting incident, etc. Step three is the new world, what life looks like now, your current situation. This is the phoenix from the flames moment. They're the three steps. So that is essentially how you can structure every single one of those stories. And you will, hopefully, if you've done all the notes and the writing prompts from the previous videos, you will have the things that will go in there. That is a powerful structure of a story. The old world, the pivotal moment, what life looks like. That is the very basic 3-act structure of a good story. So now you know how to structure those 3 stories. I want to give you some pointers on how you can actually turn them just from a kind of an okay story, a good story, that follows the kind of the rules of what a story structure is. It stops it from being a sequence of random events. That structure stops it from being a sequence of random events, and it turns it into a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. But there are obviously some techniques and elements that elevate a okay storyteller to an expert storyteller. And that's what I want to be talking to you about. I'm going to give you a few pointers on that in the next video to help you really kind of elevate these stories. Now, the other thing I want you to know is, once these stories, you're going to be writing these stories and communicating these stories often in lots of different ways. So, don't sit down, write it and be like, right, I'm going to churn this out exactly in this way, exactly, every time. Allow yourself to be creative, allow yourself to be flexible, allow yourself to tell it slightly differently. Use this as a framework. Use the elements of what you do involve and what you don't involve as a framework, but allow yourself to be flexible. Don't feel like this is done and forget it. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video where we're going to be diving a little bit deeper into some kind of storytelling formulas, storytelling techniques and skills. See you there.